Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to take a look at Parade Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Her ability description is clears a vertical line of Tsum. And the game demonstration that you're currently watching is a skill level 1 demonstration, so the skill range it's going to be extra small. But let's take a look at her stats. In order for you to activate her ability, you will need to clear a total of 15 copies of Parade Alice off the screen. Her minimum score is 70 with a maximum score of 1050. And if you do want to get Parade Alice to skill level 6, you're going to need to get 32 copies of her in the premium box. And every single time you level her up, her Tsum effects is going to get a little bit bigger, so the skill range is going to go from extra small to extra large. And there's actually one thing you need to understand about this game before we even talk about Alice's strategy, is that every single time you pop a magic bubble, that will trigger the Tsums to drop immediately from the top of the screen. So around where the coin counter and also the score counter, that's actually where the Tsums are falling from. So if you pop a bubble, immediately the Tsums will start falling from the top. If not, what happens is when you make a really long chain, the animation has to play through to clear the Tsums one by one before Tsum starts to fall from the top to the bottom. So keep that in mind when I'm explaining some of the strategy that I'm using. So a very simple strategy is that if you don't have the magic bubble handy, then you want to make sure the center of the screen is full of Tsums like you see here before you activate her ability. However, if you have a magic bubble handy and you have your ability almost fully charged, what you want to do is you want to make a really long chain to clear a bunch of Tsums off the screen and then pop that magic bubble and then activate the ability. By doing that, you'll be clearing a bunch of Tsums from where the blast is around the coin and also the score counter is. So that's something that you also need to know about these vertical line clear of Tsums, is that it's also going to blast anything that is falling from the top of the screen. So where the coin counter, also the score counter, that area is also going to be blasted. But let's actually take a look at this Tsum side by side between all of the skill level. And then what I'm going to do is cover her animation, also the ability a little bit later in slow motion, so you can see what I mean by that. So between skill level 1, 2, and 3 is the skill range. At skill level 1, the skill range is going to be extra small. And then at skill level 2, the skill range is going to be small. Skill level 3 is going to be medium. So this skill range is in reference to the thickness of the vertical line. So for extra small, it's going to be about 3 or so thickness of the row. When you get to skill level 3, you're going to get anywhere between 3, 4, and 5. So depending on how your screen is set up, that's how big the clear radius is going to be. And you might need a little bit of luck as well to get that kind of range. So overall, I think Parade Alice is a fun Tsum to use, but it does require some strategy, so you will need to learn how to use the magic bubble effectively and time everything accordingly to maximize the coin earning potential. Because if you don't, you might miss out on a bunch of chains that could have gone into your coin counter. So as you already know, the higher the chain, the more coins you're going to earn. So what you want to do is try to get as high of a chain as possible to maximize the coin earnings. So I did rate Parade Alice as my number 3 because she is a little bit more difficult to use for beginners. But if you are relatively good at timing the ability and also understanding the game dynamics of the magic bubble, then she could be a number 2 for you. So depending on how well you could use the magic bubble and use that tactic, it's going to depend. But I still think that there are better Tsums out there. I think Parade Alice is a very easy Tsum to use, but also the game animation or just the animation alone is pretty long. And each gameplay does last a while in terms of like how many minutes or how many coins you earn per minute. It's pretty low because the animation takes a long time and each chain that you have doesn't earn you super large amount of coins. So for that reason, I did rate her a little bit lower compared to the other new Tsums that we have for this month. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, I do want to show you guys the animation activated at the same time or the ability activated at the same time, so that way we can analyze how to use her ability effectively and what I mean by popping that magic bubble. So let's take a look at that. So first of all, what you want to do is pay close attention to any of the gameplays. I will pop a magic bubble first, and then the bar will be then fully charged, or the skill will be fully charged, and then I activate it. So before I tap the ability button, I always press on a magic bubble. And by doing this, it will trigger Parade Alice to fall from the top to bottom. But take a look at my screen for skill level 3. I have a lot of gaps there. You see that black area that doesn't have a lot of Tsums? Naturally, you would think that, oh, this is going to be a really low chain count because I have a big gap there. If you count all the Tsums that are in or highlighted right now, there's only about maybe like 11 Tsums that's highlighted. So in theory, looking at just the screen alone, I might only get a chain of 11 because, the screen's empty. So as I mentioned earlier, you only want to use this method if you pop a magic bubble beforehand. If not, you might want to look at skill level 2, where I didn't necessarily pop a bubble beforehand, I let everything settle. Then that way you'll maximize the chain there. But if you look at skill level 1, I also had a slight gap there at the very bottom where Parade Alice's hair is. I didn't have Tsums there and also have a magic bubble kind of in the way. So that's my other strategy, is sometimes the magic bubbles do get in the way, so maybe pop all the bubbles before activating her ability. So as I resume here, I am going to strategically pause it right here. So take a look at skill level 3. Skill level 1, the same thing actually. So look at where the score counter is at the very top. You see how there's like a bunch of Tsums squeezed up there, and it's indicating that it got burst. So same thing for skill level 1. They already turned into coins for that one, but you'll notice that a lot of Tsums up there also got popped. So that's something that you need to know about this game dynamic, is that once you pop a magic bubble, there's already Tsums immediately in the score area as well as the coin counter that you could burst. So take a look at the chain amount that I got here. For skill level 1, I got 20. For skill level 2, I got 24. And for skill level 3, I got a total of 31. So you see that significant boost there. So we counted the Tsums earlier for skill level 3 and we only saw 11 or so. So that's about 20 more additional that got stuck there at the top of the area. So that's how you would maximize the chain and coin earning potential for Parade Alice. You always want to pop a magic bubble and then activate her ability to maximize the coin earning potential. And if you could do that, technically it doesn't matter if you have her at skill level 1 or skill level 6, you're still going to be able to get a lot of coins. The only difference here is that thickness of the band, so you might get 6 or 7 chains more, but you can still use her effectively if you understand and master this technique. Okay, now I'm going to skip on ahead here to show you what my coin earnings were for these 3 gameplays. So for skill level 1, I got a total of 1,182 coins. For skill level 2, I got 1,643 coins. And for skill level 3, I got 2,356 coins. So not necessarily super amazing for coins for skill level 1 and 2, but pretty good for skill level 3. And for score, it's pretty decent as well. It's nothing super amazing, but still on the good side, given that it's still a relatively low level Tsum. So I would say it's pretty good for coins, score, and also for abilities as well. Now I also played this game a second time, so just to draw some comparisons of what the coin earning potentials are. So for skill level 1, I got 1,614 coins. For skill level 2, I got 1,905 coins. And for skill level 3, I got 2,743 coins. So pretty good for coins and also pretty good for score. So definitely Parade Alice is a Tsum that I would recommend you to try to get, of course if you have the coins. She's not amazing or anything like that, but if you can master this bubble thing that I mentioned earlier, then she could be pretty good. And then also take a look at it here. I am going to split it up between my first attempt at the top and then also my second attempt. So that way you can see the ranges between the two. The score does fluctuate a lot significantly for level 1 or skill level 1, but for skill level 3 it does kind of plateau. The coin earnings is relatively in the same range. They're into the middle to high 2000s. So that's pretty much it for Parade Alice. I hope that you guys found this video helpful in seeing these 3 game demonstration. And if you guys would like to support this channel, definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. And as always, thank you so much for watching.